Hey guys, Matt the Butcher here. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I'll be creating and exploring all types of recipes and concoctions for meaty preparations, including techniques like smoking, brining, curing, marinating, and drying. I have a lot of really cool content coming up, so please like this video and subscribe. Also, if you have any ideas or suggestions on different recipes you'd like to see, let me know in the comment section below. Alright guys, today we're going to be looking at pork rillette. Rillettes are some of my all-time favorite charcuterie to make. Why? Because it's super easy, super flavorful, and it's super versatile. What does that mean? You can make rillette out of pretty much any protein. Today we're going to be making it out of pork jowl. The way that we make rillette is you're going to slow cook it so everything breaks down. All the connective tissue, the muscle, gelatin from the bones, it's all going to come out into one pot. And what we'll do from there is actually separate the meat from the fat and the stock, and we're going to mix those back together in a formulation to create an incredible tasting rillette. And that's what we got coming up next. Okay, so first you're going to need some kind of protein. Today we're going to be working with pork jowl. I was originally going to make this video into how to make guanciale. Stay tuned, that's still coming. But something happened at the pork processor, and you can see here they hacked it all up. So we moved right into rillette because this is exactly what rillette is for, ugly pieces of meat. Alright, so these are the basic flavor profiles that you can use to spice up a rillette. So salt, of course, you absolutely need that. Black pepper, chili flake, garlic, and one of my little secret ingredients I love for rillettes is champagne or prosecco. The sweeter the better on this one. Alright, so one more thing, we'll also need a terrine mold. So you have one here. And that's pretty much it. A lemon as well. I can't find my lemon, but don't worry, I'll get one. We're gonna put the zest of it in there to really put that, put the floral notes in there. All right, so the next thing to do is basically put the meat or the pork jowl in the crock pot and let that cook for about 6 hours. You're not gonna add any of this just yet. Well, sorry, yeah, you are gonna add the prosecco here, but everything else is going to kind of cook into itself. The fat and the stock, it's all going to seep out of this. So yep, I'm going to put this here. Open up the prosecco. Take a little sip. Ooh, I'm drunk. And then just put it right in. All right, guys, I'm gonna plug this bad boy in. And I'm gonna see you in 6 hours. Okay, 6 hours later, and we are ready. So we have here the pork jowl that is completely cooked down that we're going to be making into the rillette. Guys, this took about six hours for this. Now, understand, you might have more, you might have less. What you're basically looking for is the meat to be fork tender. So check this out. If you can pull it apart with a fork like this, you're good to go. That's going to be tender enough to make this recipe. So a couple things that you're going to need to make this now or for the next step is a colander and a couple containers to separate the actual meat from the liquid. And then you actually need to put the liquid in a separate container so that the fat and the stock separate. That might take a couple minutes after the initial pour. But then you need to skim the fat off the top and completely separate it. That's a big detail, and I'm going to show you why. All right, guys, I'm going to get to it. Okay guys, we have the savory pork rillette recipe here, and this is pretty much how I calculate all my recipes. The reason being I work with percentages, grams, and kilograms because it's much more precise, and if you have more pork or if you have less pork than the recipe that I have here, you can duplicate it exactly to the gram because we're working in percentages. So I have pulled pork, 440 grams, and that's 50% of the total weight used to calculate the amount of ingredients below here. So rendered fat, 25%, and stock, 25%. So this all equals the weight that we're going to be calculating: the salt, lemon zest, chili flake, garlic powder, onion powder, and the chopped thyme. I have all the ingredients here already measured out. The pork here, the rendered fat, the stock, the salt, lemon zest, chili flake, onion powder, garlic powder, and the chopped thyme. And then we're going to use a small KitchenAid with a paddle attachment to mix them up. And then you have, the beautiful thing about rillettes is after it's completely mixed, and then you're gonna put it in the terrine mold, there's so many options of terrine molds that you can actually use. I have the large one that fits about 1 kilo of meat. We have a unique style terrine here. I've used this with fish, pâtés, and rillettes. It comes out really unique shape. You can do like a little bread loaf or a small ramekin to be part of a charcuterie board. Anyway, so let's go. So the first ingredient I'm going to add is the pulled pork into the KitchenAid. And you want this about room temperature, slightly warm is fine. The second thing I'm going to add is the stock. You also want this a little bit warm. The reason that I put those two ingredients in first, followed by the salt, so that the salt has some time to actually dissolve in the liquid itself. It's going to have a little bit of a harder time to dissolve if you have the fat in there as well. So I'm just going to let that mix up a little bit here. Now that the stock, the salt, and the pork has all been mixed together, and you don't see very big chunks of the pork left anymore, this is when you can add the fat. All right, and then it doesn't matter which ingredient you add next, you can add them all together. All right, now you're mixing up all the ingredients together in this bowl here, and you're basically looking for a more or less homogenized mix between the fat and stock and the pork itself. Something that looks like it could sit in a terrine mold without actually breaking, meaning the liquid separating. So you just need less than 3 or 4 minutes to get that kind of texture. And we are actually coming up on it right now if you want to take a look. The pork rillette is all mixed up, and I'm getting ready to put it in the terrine mold. Well, now the pork rillette is in the terrine mold, and I'm going to put it in the refrigerator for about 2 hours. If you can wait even overnight, it's going to be better the next day. Really let those flavors meld and come together, and really let that pork rillette set. But I can't wait, so we're going to wait 2 hours. So it's been 2 hours now, chilling in the refrigerator. I think this pork rillette is ready. We're going to take it out and take a look at the texture, the appearance, and we're going to taste it for flavor. All right, let's see. As you can see, I put a little parchment paper here for easier time getting it out. Oh man, this looks beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. The thing with the pork rillette is it does have rendered fat in it, so you want to work with it fast and then put it back into the refrigerator. Oh yeah, look at that. Chili flakes, thyme. You can see some of the pork meat in there. I can already smell it. It smells so rich, so good. It cuts really, really well also. Let me cut one more slice here. So guys, one beautiful thing about a pork rillette is it really livens up a charcuterie board. That's exactly what we're gonna do right now. Guys, thank you so much for joining me on how to make a pork rillette. I think it came out fantastic. Please let me know what you think. If you have any questions, please comment in the comment section below. Like this video, subscribe. Like I said, I got a lot of really cool content coming up here pretty soon. And I'd love to have you follow me.